Well, still in Nigeria, the 7 years in office of President Muhammadu Buhari's government has been described by a cross-section of Nigerians as one of the worst it has ever had. Despite the change slogan of the APC-led Buhari government, there are still questions regarding the real change promised by the party in 2015.
Well, just on Tuesday, February 22, 2022, President Muhammadu Buhari, while receiving a delegation from Kaduna State, spoke about the infrastructural achievements of his administration with emphasis on the construction of the Lagos-Ibadan Railway, which he said had ameliorated the hardship faced by commuters plying the route on a daily basis. Well, he went on to add, and I quote, as you can see on the screen there, the people from Southwest can tell better because between Lagos and Ibadan by now, if we hadn't done what we did, people would have been trekking, like walking, trekking. Anyway, let's bring in political and public affairs analyst Naimeka Obiareri, who joins us this morning on Breakfast Central, taking a look at the infrastructural scorecard of President Buhari's government so far. As you can see on the screen there, federal government approved budget in 2022. We've seen how much was indeed allocated, how much was indeed spent, and what it definitely may have been spent for the expenditure breakdown, and not forgetting to the scorecard as well. Electricity, many have said, nope, not good, didn't do well. We've seen oil and gas as well, not good. Road, which is falls under that same infrastructural project as rightly mentioned, not too good. And the likes, we can go on and on, but let's see. Dr. Naimeka, President Buhari's statement is one that has got many people talking. How would you access or just assess this government's 7 years after they came into power, looking at infrastructural wise?
0 to 10%, 0 to 10. I
really?
would score them 3,
really?
3 over 10.
Oh, okay. So 3 over 10, not 0 over 10.
Over 10. And I will explain why. Nigeria is a very funny country. Very fun country in the sense that we celebrate, embrace, and dance around mediocrity and thumb chest over nothing. I will give you factual examples. Between 2010 to 2022, a period of 12 years, Nigeria as a country has only done cumulative rail projects that covers only about 330 kilometers. 12 whole years. The Jonathan government did the 187-kilometer Abuja to Kaduna standard rail line. The Buhari government did the 156-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan rail route. And then between Jonathan government and the Buhari government, they completed the 22-kilometer missing link between Itakpe and Warri. Add it up to yourself. And between these two projects, they squandered over $3 billion. Now, I want to bring it into context compared to what Djibouti and Ethiopia did within a period of 6 years. I didn't say 12, 6. Everybody who has traveled across Africa knows that the most atrocious terrain to build roads or to build rail projects lies along the Ethiopia, Kenya, Djibouti route because of the mountainous environment, the jagged rail system and all those stuff. But between Djibouti and Ethiopia, they did 747 kilometer standard gauge rail that cost them only $4 billion. That project was started and delivered within 6 years. What does that show you? It shows you clearly nations that are focused, people that are honest, they do projects that will benefit their people without over-invoicing it and using it as a route to steal money and stay thumb chest over it. I'll bring it nearer home. In 2009, Ethiopia, the city of Addis Ababa, started a 17-kilometer monorail light rail project. Within the same period, Lagos state government started their own. Rotimi Amechi started out of River State. As I talk to you, within a space of 5 years, Addis Ababa commissioned their own rail project in 2015. Today, that rail project evacuates 60,000 people every hour. The Lagos own is still under voicemail after we have spent almost $1 billion. And mind you, the Addis Ababa own cost only about $400 million. The Rivers own has been abandoned after they squandered over $200 million doing only 2.6 kilometers. It's an insult to our sensibilities. But do you know what blows and what breaks my heart? We still have millions of supposedly educated and enlightened Nigerians who still see merit in the kind of shenanigans that we'll experience at the level of atrocious governance that these people are giving to us. Imagine a president saying, after 7 years in power, the only thing he could boast of, after squandering $1.96 billion, is 156-kilometer standard gauge line. The refineries are dead and not working after they wasted over 800 billion naira.
All right, we seem to have connectivity issues with Dr. Nnaemeka. But Oluchi, I'm sure we're getting the point that he's making here.
Clearly.
He's looking at what has been delivered and the monies that have actually been spent. And don't forget, if you just tuned in, we are taking a look at an infrastructural scorecard, or better still, the scorecard of the current sitting president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, which of course has come to the fore. And many are asking questions and saying, what have Nigerians gotten from this tenure? Our job here is to ensure that we let the experts speak and let them also go ahead to dissect as well.
We clearly heard from Dr. Nnaemeka, who is highly displeased with the scorecard of the current administration. But while he is displeased, I believe Dr. Nnaemeka is back with us now. Dr. Nnaemeka, we understand the situation of things, but while you're quite displeased at the project and the scorecard of this current administration, some other people are highly impressed. Now, some of the key infrastructure projects of this government are heavily funded by external loan. Now, what's your take, considering the not too comfortable news that the country keeps servicing this debt with a large chunk of our budget on a yearly basis?
Oluchi, how will you feel if in your home a pot of soup can be made with 30,000 naira that will last you a week, and you engage a domestic staff, and the domestic staff turns out to spend 3 million naira to do the same pot of soup that you can do for 30,000, and she told you that she borrowed these monies on your behalf? What will be your reaction? Will you be impressed? Will you tap her at the back and hug her? Or will you be outraged? The funny thing is that most Nigerians who do not understand number crunching, do not understand the implication of what has happened to us and what is still happening. By June 30th, 2015, the total debt of Nigeria was 12 trillion naira. Total external debt was $10 billion. Oluchi, as of today, our total debt has inched over 40 trillion. And our total external debt has inched almost to $45 billion. These guys have borrowed 35 billion. Let me tell you, with $35 billion, you can actually do 10,000 kilometer rail network across Nigeria. With $30 billion, quote me anywhere, $35 billion, you will do and deliver under a DDOT 10 to 12,000 kilometer rail network. We have almost borrowed Nigeria out of existence, but most people do not understand this. The analogy I gave to you is practically what is happening in Nigeria. You can cook a pot of soup in your home for 30,000. You employed a domestic staff who went and borrowed 3 million naira on your behalf to do the same pot of soup that you can do for 30,000, and he expects you to clap, and actually people are clapping for him.
All right, Dr. Nwaneri, if you're still there, well, let's look at the reports that the president will sign the reworked Electoral Act Amendment Bill on Friday, which is just tomorrow. Do you see him penning his signature this time? There are times where we've expected him to sign, but he doesn't. He moves it. But this time, his media aide has come out to say it is concrete. What is your take on this?
The signing of the new electoral bill will be the greatest legacy of the Buhari government. In fact, let me tell you, I told somebody yesterday, I said, if he could muster courage to sign that electoral bills, his sins have been forgiven, and the sins of his government will be forgiven 70%. Why? One of the tragedies in Nigeria today is we have the worst of us leading the best of us. And the worst of us are leading the best of us because the best of us are not willing and ready to go into the kind of rofo dirty dances that they do in the political terrain. I have been there before. I ran an election in 2015 and 2019, and I've sworn an oath. Under this same electoral act and constitution, I will be the greatest irresponsible man to go into elections again without this new amendment. So it will do good to the Buhari government to sign the new electoral act. In fact, let me tell you, if he signs the electoral act by Friday, I will hold a world press conference eulogizing him and wiping away 70% of the sins of this government.
Well, yeah, we have a couple of months down pending when the general election will be happening. But we know a lot will be unfolding between now and that time. But thank you so much, political analyst and public affairs analyst as well, Dr. Nnemeka Obiariri. Thank you once again for coming on the program.